didn't knock down. He had some guys that struggled from the field. It's just unfortunate. We competed for most of the game, and again, it's a make or miss league, and you got to make open looks when you get them, and that's just the way the ball bounces sometimes. So our biggest thing is just to get back, fill our cups back up, and then go defend our home court just as they did tonight.
Darvin, you made that run to get within one in the third quarter, and it looked like you're maybe trying to get AD a quick rest. Not just those minutes, but in general, without AD, what do you guys have to do better? And is there any thought about
we had some untimely possessions where we didn't finish with a rebound, and they were able to get one, maybe two offensive rebounds in that stretch. And a team like that, they thrive off those hustle plays, getting those 50-50 balls. They got enough scoring output where you give them second and third chances at it, they're going to make you pay. So I just thought some of those unfortunate defensive possessions where we couldn't finish with a rebound hurt us. But overall, our guys came out tonight to compete, and again, we just didn't make enough shots, and some untimely turnovers and some untimely lack of defensive rebounding.
You didn't give Wenyen a few more minutes tonight. Are you just looking to try to match a little bit of their size with some of those second units more?
Absolutely. And then, Wenyen, you throw him out there, even if it's in short spurts, he's always one that brings great energy to the game, as he did tonight when we threw him out there. So we'll go back to the drawing board, look at the film, and see what we come up with. And, again, the biggest part is to be ready to come out on Friday like gangbusters and compete for 48 minutes or however long it takes.
Darvin, a couple questions. With about 9.5 minutes left in the fourth, you guys were in a timeout down 24. What was the kind of the balance between let's try to close this gap versus trying to maybe use that time to buy LeBron some rest, to buy AD some rest?
It's tough, man, because when you're competitive, it's like you feel like, in today's basketball, the three-point shot, it can be the great equalizer. You can chew up a deficit really, really quickly. We gave up I think it was a 14-1 run to them in the first half last game in Game 4. So it just shows you, and that was in a span of maybe a couple of minutes, maybe 2-3 minutes. But, it's the great conundrum. Do you compete harder and hopefully see some shots go in, get to the free throw line, get the scoreboard moving, or do you take that time, like as you just said, and try to soak up some minutes with those guys getting ice on the sideline or whatever? But it's playoff basketball, man. Everybody's in a competitive mode, and we decided to leave our guys out there.
LeBron has been pretty open about talking about his fatigue levels and stuff like that. 1 for 9 from 3 tonight. He was the first of the regulars to come out. Why did you choose that time with him?
Just to start, he and I made eye contact, and we had a nonverbal discussion, and it was time.
First of all, did you get banged up a little bit in the fourth quarter, or are you good?
I'm good. I just went knee to knee with Jaren, so just a little stinger for a second, but I'm fine.
Got it. You guys battled back to get within one in that third quarter. That AD takes the brief rest. They go on the run. What did you see as the key as they reasserted the scoreboard difference in that third?
Well, they're a really good team, and they made shots, got to the rim, and really just played well. So we'll go back to the drawing board, see what we did wrong, and fix those things.
You guys lost Game 2 here in similar fashion, went back to L.A. and got 2 wins. So what's the level of confidence in Game 6, and how important is trying to close that out at home to avoid coming back?
Still really high. I mean, it's the playoffs, and the 2 seed in the West for a reason. They're really good. We didn't come in thinking it was going to be a cakewalk. We knew it was going to be a battle. Like you said, we're going back to our house, and we'll compete to win there.
You guys got it to 1 midway a bunch of times in the third, but 4 minutes to go, it's a 1-point game. Where did it change after that?
Like I said, I think they just made shots. Ja got to the rim a couple times, and then I'm pretty sure we were getting good looks on the other end. We just missed a couple. But I think it's, a testament to, them executing their game plan and us just not making shots.
They pushed it to 25 in the fourth, and you guys were able to get it back down, I think maybe 13 or 14. Is there anything momentum-wise that you can take from that into Friday?
Yeah, for sure. Just, I mean, regardless of score, time, play as hard as you can, and, you know, you live with the results if you leave it all out on the floor.
LeBron talked about how close out games are the hardest games in the series. This is your first one against me. In what way did you see a different level of intensity, a different level of desperation from Memphis?
I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously they don't want to go home, or they don't want to, you know, get beat in the series. As you know, much as we want to win the series, you know, they're all competitors over there. So, you know, they did come out with an urgency and, you know, the fire and in front of their home fans to build them up, bring them up, and like I said, they played a good game.
What's going to be the best way to track and get back because of the shot they had a pretty good game tonight?
I think it's, you know, we'll go back to the drawing board and, you know, watch film and see what we can do. But, you know, they're, you know, Ja's MVP. Bane was, you know, really good for the whole year, so they're good players. And like I said, we'll go, you know, figure out what we can do.
Difficult game here in Memphis. You know, you were expecting their kind of backs to the wall effort. What did you guys try to do to counter that energy-wise, and how did it end up getting away from you late?
Like you said, they back was against the ball, so we knew they was going to come out aggressive and, you know, give everything they had. And we knew they were going to come out and make some runs. So we were just trying to sustain it and, you know, just keep fighting. And I think they had one massive run, and we cut it down towards late, but it was just, you know, we ran out of time.
You go back to LA, you're 2-0 there in the series. What is the thing that's most important to start the game against Memphis on Friday?
Protecting our home court, you know, coming out, you know, hitting first. I feel like they kind of hit first today. I think that'll be our biggest thing, just, you know, throwing the first punch, being the more physical and more aggressive team to start the game, and just setting that tone early. I feel like we kind of eased into the game, so just continue to be the aggressor.
Their guards have been, you've been holding them to lesser efficient games than tonight. They seem to get going a little bit. I know you spent some time in there, some time down low. What do you have to do with Ja and Bane a little bit better?
With Ja, just contain him, you know, especially in the open court. You know, he's just load up to him, you know, throw different bodies at him. And, you know, with Bane, just being physical with him and, you know, kind of being directional with him as far as, like, physicality. And not letting him see some easy ones. I think even as a team, just offensive rebounding, we gave up some that, you know, resulted in him, you know, getting some big rhythm shots. So I think we can do a better job on the glass.
Yeah, you mentioned the massive run. I think it was like 26-2, 4 minutes to go in the third to 10 minutes to go in the fourth. Austin thought some of it was just they made shots and you guys missed shots. But beyond that, was there anything that stood out to you?
I think they just had a, you know, more sense of urgency during that run. You know, they got more 50-50 balls. They got more offensive rebounds in that stretch, and that kind of fired them. You know, getting more possessions and giving them more opportunities to score the ball. And I think for us, I think we got some good looks, but it got a little bit stagnant. And they just kind of picked the pace up during that stretch. Like they were, you know, getting stops and running, getting out and running in the transition and stuff. So I think for us, it's, you know, obviously every team is going to make a run, but we just need to, you know.
Right in the first half, you hit the back-to-back threes to kind of cut the lead down and keep it close. In the second half, same kind of concept, got the lead within one. What was ultimately the difference as Memphis was able to pull away?
Tough. I felt it in the third. They kind of got some momentum, but you got to look back on it, honestly, to pinpoint it on one thing specifically. Obviously, they had the energy, home court, elimination game, all that plays into play as well. So, I mean, to not match that and come out and compete at a high level, make shots, etc., it's not easy to win here. So, got to make things right.
And sorry, your three is actually in the second half, of course, not the first. So looking now back to going to Los Angeles and you win games 3 and 4 there, what is kind of the most important thing for you guys as a team going into that one, assuming you do not want to come back here for Game 7?
Hell no. Just protect home. Simple as that. I think whatever you got to do to prepare yourself individually, physically and mentally, we got a few days off to prepare for that one, to give it all we got. Get it done. I think that should be the motive. That should be the energy. Should be where our minds are. Just get it done.
Is with it being Game 6 at home, is there more pressure on you guys to close it out so you don't come back here, or more on Memphis because they have to win, you know, to get back for Game 7?
It's all pressure. Obviously, I mean, don't want to lose. You don't want to leave like that. Obviously, they want to come back here, give themselves a chance. There's pressure everywhere, but to be in a position to control our own narrative and go back home is something that I think we'd rather be. So.
The run they went on the first half, some of your teammates said like they just came out with more urgency to begin it. Obviously, you go on the 8-0 run to make it a game again, but then they had that 26-2 extended run from late in the third to early in the fourth. Was there anything that stood out about what you guys did as a team that contributed to them getting hot there?
You said 20-2,
26-2.
Yeah, I think that's it right there. Obviously, it's hard to come back from that. I don't know exactly what played into that. Obviously, like I said, I got to watch the film to see exactly, but it is what it is. Everything counts. Everything matters in the playoffs. Everything can, the little things can win you a game and lose you a game. So when you have to pinpoint what small thing kind of triggered that, it's tough. You got to see it on film. So.
6 Friday, back at home, Darvin said you almost have to treat it like a Game 7 in a sense. Obviously, you don't want to come back here, might extend minutes. What are the most important things that you've learned over the course of this series about what you guys have to do to win that game on Friday?
Not turn the ball over, defensive rebound, keep them out of transition. That's where they're very elite, and when we're in tune with those facets of the game, we're pretty good.
How much, all the experience you've had in all the different home arenas, like how much do you get an actual boost when you're fatigued, when you don't have legs from a crowd in that kind of a setting?
The crowd automatically gives you an extra boost, but we also have to be mentally locked in, understand the assignments, and execute those close to 48 minutes as possible.
The way these first 5 games have gone, LeBron, it just seems like if AD has a strong offensive night, you might not, and vice versa. If you do, he hasn't. Is that coincidental? Has that been from the Grizzlies, their defensive schemes? Did you explain that at all?
No, we just haven't put together 2 performances together, but we still have put 3 team efforts together to be up 3-2, and that's what's most important. It's not about what AD and myself are doing. It's about how we can win basketball games. And tonight I was shit, and I'll be better in Game 6.
When they went on the 26-2 run late third through early fourth, Austin thought some of it was missed shots. Vando thought some of it was just them playing with more desperation. Did you see anything that fueled that run for them?
We got 6 or 7 great looks from the three-point line. A couple of them from me, a couple of them from Bees, a couple from Rui. Offensive rebounds after those kickouts, and we just couldn't make at the time, and they was able to get downhill, and they was able to make as well. Hit a couple of threes after some offensive rebounds, whatever the case may be. But you give credit what credit is due. They played great tonight, and we go back home for Game 6 on Friday.
LeBron, what's the biggest key to getting better minutes for when it's like a mixture of starters and bench, and those lineups where you guys are integrating guys?
I don't know. Obviously I got to take a look at the film, but we all just got to be better. And it definitely starts with me tonight. I was not very good at all. I think defensively I was pretty good, but offensively I was, not really good. We all got to do a better job helping one another.
LeBron, obviously the other night, tremendous effort. Just how spent were you physically coming into this one?
I'm good.
Any questions of how you were going to feel Game 6?
I don't know. It's 2 days from now, so I have no idea. But obviously, me taking care of the body, trying to get as much sleep as I can, and seeing how fast the body can recover. Getting ready for Friday. So, we'll see.
LJ, their backcourt, Desmond and Ja, combined for 64 points. What's going to be the best way to try to contain them?
They were great. Desmond started off, I think he had 18 in the first, and kept it going from there. And Ja was Ja tonight, so we got to do a better job of not letting them see as many cracks and as many seams as possible. Especially in that fourth quarter, we kind of switched the defense early and went to a different defensive scheme that we haven't went to much this series. And Desmond definitely, was able to, I think, get 3 or 4 buckets after that. A couple of and-ones and a couple of drives, things of that nature. But we got to do a better job on those guys. But they're really good 2 players.
LeBron,
Braun, what did you see from AD tonight in terms of a bounce-back performance offensively?
He's just aggressive. All 35 minutes that he played, looking for a shot, rebounding at a high level, and
get it within one. He took what looked like it was going to be a quick breather and ends up a couple possessions. What are you seeing in those minutes when you're sitting in kind of the challenge of them maintaining what you're doing out there defensively, especially?
Obviously, Memphis knows they attack the paint more when I'm not in the game. Offensive rebounds, things like that. But we just had a couple bad possessions, turnovers, and tough shots. We got into the transition, and they were on that run to end the third. And it's kind of tough for us to recover after that. We come out, start the third quarter, on a run, and kind of just get in the rhythm, get going. And that run kind of hurt us. So we just got to be better. Get ready for Friday.
Yeah, Darvin was saying, Friday, obviously important. You don't want to have to come back here. Might extend minutes if it needs to be. For you, is there a big difference between playing, one game into the 40s versus in the 30s and all that kind of stuff?
I'll play 48. This is all about, this is what you kind of prepare the entire season for. Starting off low minutes and kind of just working your way up through the course of the season to be able to, play extended minutes in the playoffs to get victory. So if Coach needs me to play, 42, 45, 48, whatever minutes to get the job done, I'll be ready to do so.
Just kind of take us through the mindset. I mean, obviously, you guys are still in a really good position in the series, but in your first opportunity to close it out, didn't perform the way you guys wanted to. Can you kind of describe what that's like from a mindset standpoint?
It's the toughest game. I mean, closeout games are tough. The other team's going to come out with a sense of desperation, and it was on their home floor. Crowds into it. They got hot in the first quarter, making shots. Desmond Bain got hot, and they kind of just the crowd energy just kind of fed off into the other guys, and they started making plays and making shots. So we had our moments, we had our runs where we were able to get back in the game. Like I said, that run in the end of the third quarter kind of just got away from us. But, they did what they're supposed to do. We're going to go back to L.A. and, on our home floor where we're 2-0 and try to close it out.
AD, how's your hip doing? Darvin talked to us a little bit yesterday about you getting treatment these past couple of days. Just, kind of what's the pain level at right now and just kind of gutting through that?
Hip is fine. Felt fine tonight. Just trying to get treatment around the clock to make sure that I'm able to, I don't say able to go because I'm going to play regardless, but where it's feeling good, where I'm not in so much pain, going out there and moving. So I'm doing everything I can to make sure I'm able to play and be on the floor to help the team.
You guys fell down by 25 in the fourth, and Darvin kept most of you guys out there for a bit. You're able to cut it 13 or 14. Do you think they're going to have any carryover effect from having the last kind of stretch that you guys played in today, even though it's a loss, being somewhat successful?
I think the idea there was trying to just see if we can make a run and cut the lead down. You never know what can happen. I think Denver was in some situation where they're down 12 and went on a run, went overtime or something like that. So, you kind of just want to make a stretch of plays where you can see if you can make a run and see what happens from there. So that was really it. Yeah.
LeBron said he played, to paraphrase it, like crap. What do you guys got to do as a team to make up for that on the rare off night for him?
Yeah, got to make shots. I think a lot of guys kind of struggled tonight shooting the basketball. But like I say, we're going back home. Guys gonna make shots. Bron's gonna play better. After game 2, when I played, played like crap. I had my head down, and he was telling me, keep my head up. Kind of just relaying that same message to him tonight. He got the most points scored ever. Greatest basketball player ever touched the court. So, it's fine. You know, he'll be fine. He'll adjust. He'll get better. Our team will get better. And we try to look, at Friday as another opportunity to end the series.
AD, does the pressure shift to you guys in Game 6, or is it still on Memphis because they have to win the Game 6 to get back here, or is it essentially on both teams?
I think it's on both teams. I mean, we're looking to close the series, which is always, the closeout game is always the toughest game because the other team, have pressure as well to not want to go home. So I think the pressure's on both teams. Obviously, we're looking not to come back here for a Game 7.